Affair partner ended things months ago. It turns out she was pregnant. This is all so new, so I guess I'm posting this here as a way to mentally process. I was with my affair partner, who was single, for 3 years. She was an amazing woman. We fell in love hard within a year, but she understood I couldn't leave my wife. Mostly due to fear of the unknown. We had been married 10 years after all. Then she just wanted to end it out of nowhere when things were going so well. She only told me she thought it was for the best, and that was it. I didn't hear from her and my heart was broken. For months I was wondering if maybe she wanted more out of the relationship and got tired of waiting, or perhaps she found someone else who could actually commit to her. I tried to move on from her. I didn't see anyone else and remained faithful to my wife. Then out of nowhere she came back into my life a few weeks ago. She asked if we could talk, so we met up for coffee. That's when she laid it all out. My affair partner found out she was pregnant and freaked out. But she was too afraid of getting an abortion. It made me feel sad and guilty over the fact that she dealt with all these emotions alone without me there, because she was more focused on not wanting to affect my marriage even more. I reminded her that I was the one doing that, not her. So yes, she had the baby. He's almost 5 weeks old and she showed me pictures. He's so beautiful, head full of hair, cutest little nose and chubby cheeks. She said she'd tried for months to work up the courage to tell me, but scared herself out of it every single time. She was worried about how I'd react, if I would be angry she didn't abort or refuse to acknowledge our child. Honestly, if I had found out back then, I would have been panicking so bad. But in the end, I'd have never rejected her, or our baby. That's exactly what I told her. She was open to getting a paternity test in case I had my doubt, which is what we ended up doing. Now there's no doubt at all he's my son, and I had the chance to see him for the first time the other day. It was the most emotional experience I ever had holding a tiny little me. I thought there was no way in hell I could ever not be in his life. Just no way at all. We talked about where we go from here. Obviously I'm going to be an involved father and be there for her and him. I know I have to end things with my wife. Even before the affair, it's something that should have been done already, but I was too much of a coward to do it. It still feels very scary for me, and I know divorcing her is going to be the most difficult thing I'll ever have to do. Part of me is still debating on whether I should be completely honest about the affair plus my child, or if it would be best to leave all that out and not make it any more painful than it needs to be. So yeah, lots going on right now. But I know one thing for sure, I've got a child and woman who loves me, even if that might be a little complicated right now. It really has been one hell of a time. I'm still wrapping my head around it all. To suddenly find out I'm a dad and making the decision to leave my wife when I spent so many years refusing to. I guess this was the final push in the end.
When they can't get over you knowing they're cheating. Has anyone's married partner continuously focused on your ability to blow their life up? So much so that it was a strong contributing factor to ruining the relationship? When I was married, I cheated on my ex with a married man. His wife found out. She called me and emailed my, then, husband. It was a nightmare. We continued our affair, shocker, after my divorce. Long story short, and so much more, I could have blown up his life a million times over the past decade plus, but I never did. I never wanted to. It's just not who I am. Fast forward to the pandemic. I reconnected with a MM that I had previously broken up with because he wasn't putting forth effort. In 2020, we saw each other when he could get away. In November, he dealt with family stuff and wanted to start sharing more with me. I said I wanted more of a connection with him. Whenever we had actual conversations, they were great and we both really enjoyed talking to one another. Last month, he was telling me about something that didn't add up given our past conversations. Red flags were going off. I easily fact-checked him on a public website and then called him out on his lie. He was livid. He started in on the whole, "you could blow up my life" conversation again. Let me be clear. I have never threatened or joked or hinted, with anyone, about blowing up their life. When that happened to me, it was terrible. I've had friends and family that have cheated on their spouses and confided in me, and their spouses still don't know. I've dated guys that lied about being in a relationship, never considered telling their significant other. I genuinely don't understand why knowing 20 things about the guy that's sticking his dick inside of me is worse than me knowing 19 things. I don't know why he would lie about absurd things to the woman he's sticking his dick in whenever he can. I eventually got tired of defending myself. I made myself available for him whenever he could get away, had his favorite beverages waiting for him, bought toys and lingerie to surprise him with, and supported him with his family and marital issues. I logged out of the app we used to communicate, and it's been such a relief. It's nice not having to do the emotional labor for the both of us. And it's nice not having to defend myself, again, that I have zero interest in telling his wife. There really are genuinely good people in this world that just want to get laid by someone that doesn't want to change their situation. Because we don't want to change our situation either. Please don't take a good affair partner for granted. And please don't accuse them of stupid crap when they've bent over backwards for you and have been there for you no matter what. To the genuinely good affair partners out there, don't put up with crappy partners that are low effort, that take you for granted, and that don't respect you.
In this sub, and perhaps in real life too, there's an unfounded belief that single affair partners are more risky because they, theoretically, have less to lose if the secret gets out. That they would be more frivolous regarding their operational security, and would even intentionally do it if their feelings got hurt, or they wanted to deliberately end their married partner's relationship. I suppose I get the line of thinking, but in reality fellow married affair partners are the biggest operational security risk, for the very reason you experienced. When I was married, I cheated on my ex with a married man. His wife found out. She called me and emailed my then husband. If your partner slips up, their partner is almost 100% going to tell yours. And this is a process you have no control over. People assume fellow marrieds will be on top of their OPSEC, but that's not true at all. Having said that, there are people who do blow up other people's livelihoods, sometimes even at the cost of their own well-being. Crimes of passion are very rarely ever rational. It's amazing to me how many people take the risk of the affair partner's spouse blowing up your life for granted. It's the weakest link. Make sure any direct information tying back to you is kept private as much as possible. The mantra for adulterers is to always deny and never tell. The mantra for a burned spouse is to always let the other burned spouse know.
It finally happened. I have finally had a breakthrough. For so long I wanted to make my marriage work. I was the anti-cheating girl and things were pretty black and white for me. That is until my own marriage decided to implode in the middle of a pandemic with a new baby. Just leave if you're unhappy became the advice of a naive young woman. I've been spending my days so unhappy and feeling so alone. It has been so long since I've felt attracted or wanted. But today I felt like my old self. I had a couple delivery guys come and haul away a broken appliance. There was an older guy and a younger guy with deep brown eyes and perfect eyebrows. My God. The way he looked at me, he was literally undressing me with his eyes and he did not hide it at all. I think he saw my interest at first, but I had to look down because my mother-in-law was there. I wanted so badly to flirt and give him bedroom eyes. I've been on a high since then just from a look. I feel so good. So desired. I would travel to the ends of the earth to chase this feeling. So I think I know what I'm gonna do.
I had a similar situation, divorced during a pandemic, and a young child less than 2. I know exactly what you mean. I'm starting to feel like myself again also, but still feel like relationships can't be normal anymore. I think I went too far down the rabbit hole, and will have a hard time in a normal functioning relationship. Do you think a normal relationship will be possible after what you've been through? Same happened with my marriage during the pandemic. I had been ignored sexually for 10 or 11 years. He had become impotent and flat out refused to see a DR. Around August, I think, I joined Reddit and my entire world opened to what a lot of people were up to. I met a few local men in my area, and a lot of conversations ensued. It felt wonderful to have people listen to me, and hear their points of view as well. I never actually met up with any of the Reddit guys, but my confidence was back. I told my husband I was thinking of cheating, as I just felt like a roommate who does all the cooking. I was ignored and not believed. I ended up joining a local fling page and found my first ever cheat. He was 25 and engaged, but I'm 44. The sex was amazing, and conversations not too bad. I was feeling awesome. After seeing 25 a few times, I came clean to my husband. Still not believed. Long story short, I met up with 3 men, and geez, that was a juggling act. Number 2 wanted me to leave my husband and marry him. I was falling in love with him. Number 3 resides closest to me, so he's just convenient. I ended up getting caught in my house with number 2 by my husband on his 50th birthday. The next day my husband went to the theyre and got Viagra. We had a lot of conversations about my actions and feelings as well as his. We are still together and getting along better than ever. I believe my cheating was a blessing in disguise.
I was yesterday years old when I learned the name of the guy I've been railing for a year. I have been chatting with and then seeing this guy for 2 years. We were on an app and were both looking for an affair partner. We met a few times the first year, made out, nothing major, mostly just chatting and getting to know each other. We have been having sex for a year, albeit meeting infrequently due to COVID and changing to working from home. We chat every day. He tells me he loves me all the time. We have discussed the future. I am well on my way through a divorce and he is just starting. Yesterday he told me he was ready to break down some walls. He told me his real name and where he really lives. I figured his location was shiz, but his name? Am I the a-hole? Because I am pissed about this. He knows pretty much everything about me. He has been to my house, so address, first and last name, kids' names, the list is endless. He says nothing else was a lie, but how the F can I verify that? Where is the whole honor among thieves? I am just heartbroken. I took so long to open up to him and I love him too. He far and away passed every loser who just wanted a piece of ass, I thought. We had so many meets where we didn't do anything but talk. Do I end it?
1. I can understand feeling betrayed. You have gotten to know and opened up to this person and trusted them with intimate details, and they didn't tell you their real name. It is outrageous. And it would make me feel like they didn't trust me. Especially if you trusted them with so much. I'd feel foolish and like our dynamic was unbalanced. You have been lied to about something fundamental, and it's like he's a different person, not just named differently. Don't end it right away. Take some time. Consider this was more about himself than it was about trusting you. Consider everything emotional, and everything else you've shared was true. Give yourself time to see what you feel after the anger. If you can't ever get past this, then you will have to end it, but it's too fresh to know that yet. Being blindsided sucks. You're not the ash-hole.
2. I used Tinai to reverse search his photo. Turns out he used the same portrait he used for his work webpage. Which is how I found his name and company and job title. He's in the C-suite. And everything else. There was a good chance he'd be pissed off. And I knew it. He might break it off and disappear. But this was a giant operational security fail and I needed to let him know about it. So I texted him with I have a terrible confession to make. Told him I searched him and knew his real name, where he works, all of it. And this is my LinkedIn profile. I texted a link. You now have the same information about me. I don't have any intention of blowing up your life. I just need you to know that you can be found out this way. I'm sorry to have searched, but I felt it was necessary for my own safety. He later said, that was one of the reasons I decided to move forward with it. It showed me I could trust you. That was 6 years ago.
3. It's safer for everyone to not use your real name or any version of it. Considering I have successfully doxed a guy from his unique first name, his city and state, and his college major and profession in less than 10 minutes, I had his LinkedIn account, his last name, and then his Facebook page, and his live-in girlfriend's name, and all of their relatives. I didn't care, but if I did, I could have messed him up pretty badly. When you first meet people, you have no idea how much you can trust them. Then the guy needs some plausible deniability, no wife, our friend Tom uses the app on my phone to talk to his affair partner, then well, it's been several months now, and you're getting a divorce. Well, that might make you even more clingy. Better hold off in the truth again. I can't say as I really blame the guy for holding back, but I can see your hold up too. Give him a chance to 100% disclose anything else big he's holding back. If you find out it was a lie, then call it off. He blew his last chance. I know it's difficult, but he did come clean at the first time things all aligned well.
4. I would give this a few days. I can 100% understand why you are shocked by this, but when he told you the wrong name, he was just protecting himself and practicing good operational security. A better thing would have been to tell you he didn't want to use real names from day one. He came clean now because he really trusts you and he wants to start with a clean slate. Be upset, but then get over it and forgive him. It sounds like you have a great thing going. I woke up and thought I was in trouble. I am still no contact with ex-long-distance affair partner since July. The closest thing that's happened was an instantly deleted friend request that she sent, which was our inside joke. That was months ago. Last night I had the most vivid dream. It was PG-13 but had the things I loved most about her. The passion, the laughter, her being shoulder height and that look she gives. Her gorgeous green eyes glossed over with that undeniable look of lust, love and admiration. Today I just have the knot of yearning in my stomach just wanting to tell her that I'm thinking about her. I woke up to my wife about to leave for work and felt like she was upset with me. Like I said something in my sleep accidentally, or somehow she knew what I had dreamt. I guess it was just that vivid, like it really had happened. I wish it had. So, I'm not in trouble. I'm just missing my beautiful Kay with a heavy black heart.
Is cheating really that bad? Do most people here do it? Do you feel like a bad person? Everywhere I look online, women that have affairs are called the worst thing one can imagine. I feel fine with cheating. Am I a psychopath? I really don't know what to do. I genuinely feel like I love my husband, but everyone says I don't love him. I am used to having my own opinion on morals, but now I don't know how to feel.
I don't think you're a horrible person, but I'm sure I'm in the minority on that score. I believe you can love someone and desire sex and companionship with others, and still be a human being. We have the ability to love more than one person throughout our lives. This plays out every day in sequential marriages and romances, and no one bats an eye. Try it at the same time, however, and people look askance at you. A lot of that has to do with the social contract we make with others. If we marry, we make a promise of monogamy. When dating, the promise is often implicit rather than explicit, but is still there. Where we often do wrong is in renegotiating the contract without consulting the other party to it. If one side of the contract decides that monogamy is no longer applicable to them, and doesn't renegotiate the whole contract with the other party, then the first party is in violation of the contract. And the other party has a right to feel, and is, injured. If we instead confront our desires and tell our other party how we feel and give them a say in further negotiations, then we can avoid that. They can always veto our choice, it's their contract too. If renegotiations are unsuccessful, our options are to stick to the original contract as agreed, or void the original contract, i.e., divorce or break up. But we can't really fault society for faulting us, for failing to either stick to the contract or negotiate in good faith. That's my 2 cents.
Why believe what other people tell you about how you feel? I have my own reasons for doing what I do. I would never try to justify my position to another person because they will not have the same life experiences and point of view that I have, and I don't think it can be explained in a way that most people could understand. I think you're leaving a lot of your story out, but yeah, cheating is in general kind of bad. I've never encouraged a poster on here to start cheating. Getting down to brass tacks, it's frowned upon by society and way more importantly can have fallout that hurts a lot of people. Is this even real? Complete a hole. Just to start, I'm not here to judge. I came here with I'm sure the same intentions as a lot of people of this community. Someone to relate with. I wanted to have an affair because I thought it could make me feel better about my situation, but after reading these threads, I feel worse about love. What's the point of a relationship with a significant other if you only end up seeking love in other manners from affair partners? Is there no love that's worth everything, including keeping faithful? I'm no saint, I have cheated so much in life. Every relationship I've been in I ended up having an affair after a short amount of time. Mostly to be ahead of my partner, whom I knew would eventually reach that same conclusion and have an affair of their own. Now I feel empty of emotion, like why not just FCK and save all that extra SHT? I understand connection, but how do you reach that level without all the extra in the way? I feel as though that just makes you hold back sexually from an affair partner or your significant other. I just want to be honest to myself and whomever I cross paths with. This is a level I feel alone in thought with. Hence why I feel like an a-hole. People like to lie. The thrill.
Did your marriage get better during an affair? Hi. I'm a 34 years old married female, and my affair partner is a married man, and we have been together for about a year now. Before our affair started, we had known each other for years because we are neighbors, and his marriage was always pretty rocky since I had known him. To the point where police were even called to their home from a fight. It was not domestic violence, he would never be home and out with friends all the time, was drinking a lot, etc. Fast forward to now, he is a completely different person in his marriage. He no longer drinks, is always home, does whatever his wife tells him, and his wife even told a group of women in the neighborhood, me included, her marriage has never been better since last February, when our affair started. I'm happy for him, so don't get me wrong, but I feel like I'm the band-aid to his marriage, and sometimes it bothers me. I feel like he thinks she just got better. She's very rude and controlling to the point all our neighbors don't even like her, and I'm not getting the credit for making him happier in his life. He can have a good weekend or date night with her and just disappear and cut contact off with me for a week or two, but then he always comes crawling back. I start to feel used instead of appreciated. It's starting to make me question if I just end everything for good, but we do have an amazing connection. We talk daily, etc., so it's not easy for me. So I'm curious if anyone's marriage did get better during an affair, and if so, did you credit it to the affair?
I think sometimes it can give you what you feel you're missing. For me, if I'm going to be with another woman, I want it to be mutually beneficial and not a situation where either of us expect to leave their marriage. And I've noticed sometimes she randomly feels guilty and stops talking to me because he's nice to her and she shouldn't do this to him. But she texts me when that wears off because according to her, he's lazy sexually and she's not attracted to him physically anymore. She likes that I'm adventurous and I make her needs a priority. So in that sense I guess you could say she's using me, but I don't mind because that's essentially what we're both doing. Fulfilling a need and want and then going back to our lives.
The way I see it, you need to tell him everything you just wrote. You're not married to him, you don't have to live with him, so what's the point of tiptoeing around SHT? Have a conversation about it. If you're not getting what you need out of the relationship, then what's the point? Why engage in a dysfunctional affair on top of a dysfunctional marriage? That's nuts.
Married man here. An affair usually improves my marriage. I relax. I'm not so caught up in my physical needs and am able to put up with a lot more shiz. I try to make sure my affair partner knows this, though. She needs to know how much he means to me, and in what ways. Taking the sexual stress off my marriage allowed me to focus on other parts. That being said, I've been way more honest and emotionally connected to my affair partners than my wife. Go figure. Have I screwed up before? Often. Do I strive to improve? Always. You need, and deserve, to find an AP that meets your needs. If you're feeling used, you are being used. If you feel the sex is worth it, then that's one thing. But if you feel like this is just another man who's taking advantage of you, move on. You have options. You are worth it. I'm a guy, my instinct is to tell you what to do. The honest truth is that if you've made it this far, you know what's best for you.
I feel like I am failing everywhere. I am failing as a wife. I have been cheating for a couple years with a bunch of different men. Looking to fill the empty space, I actually still haven't figured out what that is. It's temporary bliss. I know my significant other loves me, cares for me. But he has never been affectionate. Dead bedroom situation since 5 years. I do not enjoy the sex with him even if he tries. I just do not like his touch. I am failing as a mother. I am not attentive at home with the kids. I feel I am constantly ignoring them to be alone. I just drag through my motherly duties, because I have to. I am failing as an affair partner. I like him, but I don't. Sex is 7 out of 10. The connection is good when we are together and then it's over until we meet again. There is no effort from either of us to meet outside the bedroom and have real conversations. I am failing at work, I cannot concentrate. I am on dating apps, reading Reddit stories, talking to potential affair partners whom I have no intention of meeting. But just as a backup in case my current affair partner drifts apart. I am failing myself, I just want to be locked up in the room all day alone. There is no self-care, no workouts, I avoid family time, I am lethargic in mind and body. Is anyone else in the same boat? What is happening? Shouldn't I be happy that I have a nice family, job, no financial issues, decent sex? F my life. I just want to give up in everything.
I am feeling this a lot. This was me last year. Honestly, I tried manifesting, and as woo-woo as people think it is, it's really worked for me to be happier. I just visualize me being a better mother, and bonding with my children, so like I love to picture us running on the beach chasing each other, skipping etc. With my significant other, I choose him, and so I visualize that looks like to me, intimacy, dates, laughing with him. You have to sort of meditate this regularly, 5 minutes here or there, and the trick is to really feel how happy these scenes make you. That's the key part in manifestation. I've been in this hole for 1.5 years, minus the kids part. First newfound libido after quitting birth control, which brought marital lack of sex into sharp focus. Then work burnout, then COVID. At some point, affair partner sex was the only thing that gave me pleasure anymore. And then he was gone. He elicited such strong feelings in me, changed how I thought about sex and pleasure, and simultaneously disillusioned me once it ended. I knew that the casual sex I had sought before him would no longer satisfy me, but even when I was with him the highest highs were always followed by the lowest lows. I had lost myself, and I knew that finding another affair partner was a band-aid, and a shizzy band-aid at that. Long story short, I've been working on finding myself again. Building my confidence, regaining hope, becoming a person again in the world. I am still very much struggling. I have no idea what I'm going to do about my restless libido. I've been celibate for 3.5 months now, and his memory is still the only thought that gets me off. I grieve every day, sometimes heaving sobs, sometimes only a few passing thoughts. But despite everything, I am starting to feel pleasure again in normal life activities. Despite all of the grief, I'm better now than when I was on the roller coaster. I lost the love I had for myself, and I am trying to find it again. You need to figure out how to love yourself again, how to find joy in life again, and then you'll have the fortitude to tackle everything else. One small step at a time is all it takes. One step to propel you forward into something new, unknown, magical. Read a book, listen to a podcast, attend a webinar, join a hobby group. Even during a pandemic, there are still options to connect with people who will help you find yourself. Even with the current state of the world, there is still humanity to be found. Seek it out.
I am going through this right now. I actually just deleted all of my social media apps because I was getting so effing depressed reading through them. I have a husband, but I raise our 2 kids, both under 4, alone, work, and I'm in school. I take care of the household and try to balance my relationship with my affair partner, and I feel incredibly insecure in that situation. It seems like no matter how hard you try, it's just never enough. It's hard. It's really hard. I'm here if you ever want to talk things through. You don't have to go through things alone.
For yo, Mercury retrograde is upon us. And you might think it's woo-woo, but frequencies and shiz, that's real. So just keep moving, one foot in front of the other. Feel your feels, but remember that that's not you. At least the entire being. This too shall pass. Big hugs.
You have completely checked out of your marriage and family. And based on your words, that isn't something you are really wanting to restore. You are hurting your kids and your husband. Your actions are the lessons you are giving your kids on how they should treat other people and how they should be in a marriage. Heck of a legacy. Please do the right thing for everyone and get a divorce and go no contact with your ex and kids. Let him eventually go out and find someone who actually wants to be with him and his kids. And they deserve to have another woman in their lives that can actually love them and teach them about love, family, respect, and loyalty. This will give them the best chance at having a good life with every opportunity to be in a relationship and be dedicated to their significant other and kids. This will allow you to pursue all of the other men to your heart's desire, which is what you really want to do, and you will be able to do this with absolute and complete freedom, and the boat anchor of your marriage, your husband and his children, will be forever lifted and removed for absolute freedom. This is a win-win for everyone. This way you do not have to tell your husband of the depth of your cheating, which will completely devastate and destroy him. And his kids won't have to see their father completely emasculated and left as a complete empty shell, which will impact his children for years. I am sorry, I just cannot find any sympathy, empathy, or sorrow for you. I do not buy off on mental health issues. These are decisions you fully aware of and have made over and over again.
Give up on what? Being wife? Mother? Responsibility? Or being in affairs? You have already chosen your path. Get ready for the consequences if you continued looking for a fair partner. The efforts you trying to find an affair partner, if you had made efforts on op, then I think it will be better for you both. I had read many stories where happy family had destroyed in seconds due to affairs. Do you think your affair partner loves you? I don't think so. Men like sex and women like attention. So every affair partner like to hunt those vulnerable women who seek for attention, and wife/husband gets to it without having any knowledge of further consequences. I'm not here to lecture you, it's just warning what you were doing is wrong. Try therapies, distract yourself with work, not with a fair partner. Try hard to get attention from your husband. Even if he's not willing to. Try to spend more time with children. Don't expect or finding happiness in others, it's in you. Work on that. Good luck.
Please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.